home of the Milan Cortina Olympics. Coverage begins February 6th, 2026.
KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adai Itano program. Apply at matson.com and McDonald's of Guam. I'm loving it.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime. 3 GDOE superintendent hopefuls taking questions from the public during a press conference Monday. Part 1 of the discussion with the community coming up.
Keck Medicine's partnership with the Guam Memorial Hospital is already making waves as island leaders share the progress of their joint efforts to advance clinical training, telehealth services, and workforce development. More on this coming up.
Snails, ants, and spiders found crawling on military cargo at Guam's port, and Mitsuki Hirayama with concerns on how they slipped past inspections in Tinian.
Hafa and good evening. Welcome to KUAM News Primetime. I'm Destiny Cruz-Lingus. Thanks for starting your week with us. Well, the Guam Education Board is moving closer to naming the next superintendent of the Guam Department of Education, with a possible decision after its October 21st meeting. On Monday, 3 of the 5 candidates facing questions from the public as the selection process continues. Fresh off their interviews with members of the Guam Education Board this past weekend, 3 of the 5 applicants for GDOE superintendent facing questions from the public Monday afternoon during a press conference at the department's headquarters. Erica Cruz, Joe Sanchez, and Dr. Barbara Adamos fielding questions on transparency, fiscal responsibility, and other pressing concerns. Candidates Dr. Judith Wanpat and Kenneth Perez were not present due to prior commitments. On building trust through transparency, the applicants sharing their approaches to keeping the public informed and included.
Individuals should not have to resort to a FOIA to say, hey, we want to see a copy of these. If there's nothing to hide, and if these are government documents, you should be able to get it.
Transparency, I think, is extremely important, because without transparency, there's going to be problems. If you hide a problem or a situation, then it becomes an issue.
Transparency is so key in the role of the superintendent. What I plan to do is I want to have listening circles with the schools by regions.
On fiscal responsibility, the candidates weighing in on how they would prevent funding lapses before GDOE's budget request to the legislature.
We currently do not have a comptroller. I think we need to hire a comptroller to assist our deputy superintendent of finance. As a superintendent of education, I will clearly ensure that all our monies are spent wisely. That's important. And we must be transparent with how we're spending our monies, because obviously we are not being transparent.
I want to bring my DFAS, my deputies, anyone who has their hands in any funding, consolidated grant, project leads, business office. I want them to see the big picture. This is how much money we have to spend. This is when it has to be spent. This is every milestone along the way, who's responsible, and I want to see progress time and time again.
Making sure we have qualified individuals in all of those positions, and to make sure that the superintendent, if it's me or whoever, is regularly engaged with both sides, federal and local, to make sure that we're monitoring a very consistent spend down plan on a regular basis, as opposed to coming towards the end of the fiscal year and all of a sudden finding out that you have these lapses.
The trio also touching on teacher recruitment and retention, facilities, and partnerships. KUAM will have part 2 of the superintendent candidate coverage Tuesday night on Primetime. As the federal government shutdown drags on, Guam Congressman James Moylan is calling for compassion, clarity, and coordination to help island families weather the impact. Moylan says his office is working daily to make sure no one faces hardship alone. His team has reached out to agencies like Guam Power Authority, Guam Waterworks Authority, and Federal Mortgage Services to confirm local relief options, from deferred utility payments and mortgage forbearance to flexible rent plans and ongoing housing and cellular support. Moylan also reminded federal employees that back pay is guaranteed once the shutdown ends and that furloughs are temporary, not terminations. He urged anyone affected to contact his office or follow his social media for updates, adding, quote, "You deserve clarity, compassion, and action until your paycheck returns and long after." Well, jury selection will begin tomorrow for the high-profile murder trial of defendant Nicholas Wayne Moore as parties continue to work through technical difficulties over forensic evidence. Now, Moore is accused of killing 27-year-old Michael Castro, whose body was found in a barrel in Gigo in 2020, a year after he disappeared. In presiding Judge Maria Senzan courtroom today, Monday, prosecutor Christine Tenorio argued that there is missing forensic data from one of Eric Salone's 2 cell phones. Salone is a key out-of-state witness who is accused by Moore's legal team of firing the same gun that allegedly killed Castro in a separate drive-by shooting in Agana Heights just 2 weeks prior. Tenorio said the NCIS did 2 separate extractions from Salone's phones, but the Guam Police Department and the Attorney General's office only received 1 extraction report. Prosecution requires the NCIS's help to read illegible messages or to redo the data extraction, but says it may take time with the federal government shutdown. Meantime, the 2021 case has been delayed for several years due to untimely filings and witness availability. The trial's opening remarks are expected to take place October 21st. Now to a developing story about invasive species found aboard military vehicles arriving at the port of Guam. The discovery of pests, some potentially harmful to the environment, has raised concerns over biosecurity measures for military cargo after they slipped past multiple inspections. Mitsuki Hirayama reports.
It was a routine unloading of military vehicles at the Port Authority of Guam until workers discovered more than they bargained for: yellow crazy ants, spiders, and snails hitching a ride on Department of Defense Humvees shipped from Tinian. The pests likely slipped through multiple inspections before arriving in Guam, according to State Entomologist Christopher Rosario with the Guam Department of Agriculture Biosecurity Division.
Matson had coordinated with the local pest control agency to perform a methyl bromide fumigation using basically covering the whole cargo and the flat racks that it was on.
The yellow crazy ants are already a problem on Guam, but the spiders and snails pose a bigger mystery.
I could only identify the ant species because this ant species is distributed throughout Micronesia. Yellow crazy ant. The spider was identified down to the genus name, which is a Neoscona spider.
There were 3 snail species on the cargo. So far, 2 of them have been identified down to the family name, amber snail and subulinid snail. But he says it's not about whether the pests are invasive or already established on Guam. With Guam being a major hub for Micronesia, they could hitch a ride to other islands.
My biggest worry, though, with these layers of inspections being passed, and that this was infested. This is cargo that had multiple organisms, invasives or natives. The port authority or any port of entry needs to stay sterile.
Rosario adds Guam biosecurity officials and customs immediately took action fumigating the vehicles, but the discovery has raised new questions about how effectively military cargo is being inspected before arriving to Guam.
According to NAVFAC, these vehicles were broken down, so they needed to be repaired. And so that's why they were taken to Guam.
Typically, shipment of vehicles require a washdown before export. One video shows dirt still apparent on the Humvee's wheels. CNMI Customs and Biosecurity Director, who is a Mofness, told KUAM they're not in charge of inspections for military cargo shipments. It's the DoD's jurisdiction, who has a contract with the Center for Environmental Management of Military Lands.
The sterility of the facility, of the port yard, is vitally important, because if these invasives had perhaps yeah, several days, if it was sitting at the port, then it could potentially move to other cargo very easily, whether it's through wind, whether it's through rain, um, or just simply, simply just falling off of these vessels and these cargo and going onto and hitchhiking onto other cargo.
Meantime, the Guam Customs and Quarantine Agency assures the community that officers assigned to board and conduct clearance procedures on this particular vessel did so in accordance with established protocols. Mitsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
Time for a quick break. You're watching KUAM.
Win one championship, you're celebrated. Win twice, they call you a hero. 3 times, they say words like legend and dynasty. 4, 5, 6 titles, they'll say enough is enough. But when you've won it all 7 times, what's left to say? The trophy speaks for itself. Introducing the full lineup of Ram trucks. Ram, 7-time winner of Motor Trend's Truck of the Year.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa, you can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Welcome back to Primetime. Today, the Governor's Office and the Guam Memorial Hospital Authority shared updates on their growing collaboration with Keck Medicine of the University of Southern California, a partnership they say is already opening doors for local patients. The partnership, launched earlier this year, aims to strengthen Guam's healthcare system through education, clinical collaboration, and workforce development. Following a site visit to Keck's facilities in California, GMH is now working to streamline off-island medical referrals, especially for patients needing specialty care not available on Guam. But delays are common. Interim GMH Administrator Dr. Jolene Uggins says many patients arrive at Keck only to have treatment postponed due to unmanaged conditions like diabetes.
Guam patients experience delay when they get there because sometimes their medical morbidities are not optimized. So if your diabetes is out of control and you're there for some kind of surgery, they're not going to do it.
These delays not only affect health outcomes, but they also cost families time and money in extra lodging, rescheduling, or being sent home without receiving treatment. To remedy that, GMH is developing a pre-consultation process with screenings and telemedicine visits happening before a patient travels.
So what we'd like to build is a pre-consultation at Guam Memorial Hospital, where patients are referred to KEC through our hospital. Their records are evaluated with the international team of KEC, and then a pre-consultation via telemedicine with the physician who's going to be caring for them there.
Governor Luliangaro says these efforts and the partnership lay the groundwork for a modern hospital and a smarter healthcare system for the people of Guam. And as for long-term goals, Dr. Agin hopes to expand local specialty care, including oncology services at GMH through KEC, as well as improving follow-up care for patients returning to Guam. Well, streaming now on Peacock, Oahu Shores. The new reality show follows a group of friends on the Hawaiian island, including 2 women from Guam. KUAM contributing correspondent Nick Delgado speaks with Sky Baker about her experience going from beauty pageant queen to now reality star.
Papa Day and aloha everyone. Well, there's a new show out right now on Peacock. It's streaming just today. And who better to speak to about the show than one of the cast members themselves, our very own Sky Baker. Papa Day, Sky.
Papa Day, Nick. How are you?
Doing well. So how do you feel that today's the day the show is finally out after it's been a long time coming, I would say?
Yeah, I'm super excited for everyone to take a look into the lives of my friends and I, but more so the lives of, typical islanders and kind of what we do on a day-to-day and all the drama that we encounter. It's going to be fun to watch. I think people will enjoy it.
Guam's Sky Baker has come a long way since getting crowned Miss Guam about a decade ago. Now a part of the cast of Peacock's latest series, Oahu Shores.
People were wondering, okay, but what can I expect from something like this, especially it being filmed in the Pacific?
Right. I think the great thing about this show is that there's no other show like this out right now where it's really touching base on the culture and tradition of, let's say in this case, we're really highlighting the Hawaiian culture, right? So my castmates, majority of them are Native Hawaiian, and I think it's really special to have a different outlook on the lives of the locals here. So it's really exciting to be part of this show and to experience that with the rest of the audience. Me being from Guam, I could say that there are a lot of similarities between Guam and Hawaii. And I think at the end of the day, we are all islanders and we can all kind of relate to the different experiences that are going on.
An experience that now has her sharing her story as an island girl with a wider audience.
The funny thing is this kind of came to my friends and I, us not really looking for it. So I guess what I'm trying to say is people probably thought we were entertaining enough and reached out to us, and here we are. Here we are now with a reality show about to come out, and it feels surreal. I guess you could say. I think the reactions are shocked, surprised, and excited overall.
And an opportunity to put her island home in the spotlight.
Why do you always have to say something? Not often that we're mentioned in any kind of big platform like this. So I won't spoil too much, but I do drop some little Easter eggs of where I'm from. So I'm excited for you guys to see that part. But I think overall it's going to be good feedback, I hope, at least.
She's taking this time to remind others to dream big. But it's also a reality show that's expected to bring the drama.
There is some definite tea that we saw in the promos as well.
What we were experiencing were very real things. So I think just having that in mind, and of course people will have their different opinions, but I think us putting ourselves out there and being raw and vulnerable is something to consider. But yeah, the drama is hot for sure. The drama is tea. But again, I can't spoil too much. I want viewers to take away the fact that we are all islanders who never thought this opportunity would come to us. And we are super excited to share more about our friend group, our culture, and kind of our day-to-day lives, living on the island. So I'm really excited for the world to see us islanders on a big platform like Peacock. So I think it's going to be exciting, and I really can't wait for the rest of the island to watch. If you're watching on Guam, please don't forget to follow me and tag me, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think about everything.
Now for a look at your world at home. Here's a beautiful view from Tangisan Beach in NCS.
This is a bag, but for Steve, this bag gives him food cred. Because now everyone knows that when they have that craving, or they're just looking for the perfect deal, well, they just need to follow Steve.
Follow him all the way to the new McTerry Deluxe at McDonald's. It's an all-beef patty smothered with teriyaki sauce topped with lettuce and tomato on a sesame seed bun. For a limited time, price and participation may vary.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
Every day, there's something new to discover. Fresh styles, fresh finds, and fresh ways to make your home and family shine. So what's new at Kmart Guam? Ready to assemble furniture, stylish, affordable, and ready to take home today. Dream big with our new selection of mattresses, comfort you can count on. Upgrade your home with the latest appliances, arriving now. Step out in style with new arrivals in men's and women's fashion. Fresh looks for every season. What's new? Everything. And it's all waiting for you only at Kmart Guam.
Wesley kicks out. Simon, big three. Oh, baby! Mosley kicks out. Simon, big three. Oh, baby!
Now it pays to spread the Better Together experience. With our brand new referral program, you can earn up to $150 in account credits for every referral you bring in. That's right, family, neighbors, friends, even your coworkers. Just pass them your account name and account number. When they sign up for Docomo Pacific service and drop your info, cha-ching! Credit applied. So spread the word and start stacking those savings. Additional conditions may apply. Docomo Pacific, we're better together.
I thought you worked in his house.
Oh, I'm wherever he needs to fuel up. Oh, Cantina chicken burrito.
Thanks, Todd.
That's the way to do it.
You know what? Let me actually get something to wash that down with, please.
Yeah, I got you.
Easy. Appreciate it.
You've made a powerful enemy, Todd. I didn't mean to.
Something is calling, and I can't help it. That's not the wrong when there ain't no song. Watch me as I go. This is my mood when I make a move. Watch me as I go. This is my mood when let's take a break. There's no use. This is my mood when I make a move. This is my mood when
News Bites is brought to you by Docomo Pacific Better Together, Fresco Clothing, original custom design apparel of Guam and the Marianas, and the Guam Army National Guard. Live here, serve here.
You guys know how very much I like Storytime, and Storytime is back, baby. It was so good, so successful, so much participation. They brought it back for pre-Thanksgiving. So starting on November the 1st, you know, the day after Halloween, it's coming back 10 a.m. You can join in person at downtown at the Higganett Public Library, or you can join in on Zoom, and you know, the whole family can get involved. Feature wonderful stories, hear these amazing tales, and really enjoy them as a family. Some of the best memories of my life were Storytime. I love it. All right, Legacy of Hope is coming up too, and we would like to humbly invite you to participate because this is going to be amazing. We must continue to support Catholic Social Services because they support us. See how that works? So please make sure to participate on the 19th from 11 to 3 over at the Nico and help our friends at Catholic Social Services continue to do their ministry. And there is a run walk coming up. When isn't there a run walk on Guam? That's what part of makes our island awesome. And a 2K, 5K will be coming up, and we want you to register and get involved because this is going to help the visually impaired and blind community by you can do the See What's Cooking. This is incredible. It's downtown at Paseo C. Susana Park in Hagåtña, a 6 a.m. sunrise, 2K, 5K. I'm probably gonna do the 2K because, you know, like, I'm old. And my birthday is not till later. But you know whose birthday is right now, today in fact? Our birthday celebrants.
Happy birthday number 30 to Jenna Elise Leongarel Untalan, to our beautiful mom, daughter, sister, our everything. From November 2024 to this year, your spirit has been tested in unimaginable ways, and yet you continue to show us what love, resilience, strength, and grace look like. We remember Juju and Jordan with you, and we celebrate the strength that carries their love forward. You are never alone, and we love you so much, and we are all here for you from Dre and the entire family. That is a beautiful, beautiful shout out. Want to wish your special someone a happy birthday? Just click the QR code here on your screen or email birthdayclub@kuam.com.
And that's your Primetime Show. Thanks for watching. I'm Destiny Cruz-Lingus. Have a safe evening and stay beautiful.
All right, well, it's a very busy month.
Yes.
Right, the last time we were here, we had Miss Carol Hinkle Sanchez.
Yes. And Miss Edna.
Yes. So
Tapasnya, right?
yes,
Okay.
and since then we've attended the Guam Defense Forum.
Yes.
And then we heard Admiral
Paparo.
Midas and Lasky.
Yes.
Joint Task Force in Micronesia, speak at the Guam Chamber of Commerce.
That's correct.
Right, and then the draft bill was reintroduced by Senator Sabrina Salas.
Yes.
Manzanani, and then also we're in a government shutdown.
Well,
Hopefully-
that's federal government, though, right?
Right, yeah. So hopefully that, by the time this airs, we still won't be in a shutdown.
Yeah, hopefully that changes soon. A lot of that tends to surround, lives of people, and, it's always a difficult thing. I don't recall ever having it extend too long. They end up making decisions to get it through.
Well, the last time we had a shutdown lasted 35 days in 2018 and 2019. That was also under, I think that was President Trump's first time in office. And before that, it was 31 days, 95, 96 under President Clinton. So hopefully it doesn't last too long, and it does affect some services, on the island. And, I do know some people that got furloughed, so it does affect us. And we just hope that it doesn't last too long.
Right. And then the other thing is a lot of the the essential services, right? Those are continuing to happen regardless, right? And then because we're a veteran show, right? There's our veterans compensation and medical are continuing to be available to our veterans, to include our the benefit side, right, where you can still apply for your benefits, right?
Oh yes, and then the website's still working.
Yes.
So that's good, and a lot of services are still available for our veterans. The vet center is still open. The clinics
CBOT
are still open.
Yep.
You still should be able to get your health care. And I know veterans got paid, because the compensation, that's, like we've always said, is always allocated a year prior.
Right. So even if they do start having the CRs or shutdowns or whatever, already the funding's in there, and if history's any indicator, it looks like 30 days or 35 days was the max. So it's at least 1 month, and they got one whole year to really figure it out. We don't want to wait that long, by the way.
Right, we don't. So we're going to talk about those few things. I know we always mention the boot camp, but we also want to talk about the impact that the nonprofit organization, the HMI that we're a part of, what the impact has been with veterans, we're empowering them, right, to file their claim. And once they file their claim, then they have access to money they never had,
right?
Health care, free medication, VA home loan. There's so many things that they have.
And with that in mind, right, we have a lot of nonprofits out there that go and apply for grants to try to take care of our veterans out here, and that's very noble, and it's nice to see that. And one of the things to really think about, right, is even though they're going in and putting in all these grants and a lot of paperwork, a lot of data, begging for the federal government to give us money, right? That's par for the course. I mean, we don't have any money, so they go beg. Now, if they would just concentrate on getting our veterans to, come out and apply for their benefits. What are your data showing currently?
Well, so we've been tracking. So HMI from August 2024 to August 2025 helped over 337 veterans get their benefits. And what came with that was over $745,000 into the economy.
And that's just the increases, right? That's just since we encourage them and advise them how they can pursue their claims, empower them, right? That's what came with that.
Well, not increases. That's new claims, increases, appeals, right?
So that's everything, right?
That's everything, yeah.
Okay, but what I'm saying is if somebody had like 30% and we encouraged them and assisted them to say, hey, you know, this is how you have to pursue this. And you do that at the boot camp, right? The boot camp teaches them what the 38 CFR is.
Right.
And we've never had this on Guam. Nobody has ever done this, right?
No.
HMI was who put that together. And we go into the villages. So through the help of the village mayors, right?
Yeah.
That's how we're doing it. And of course, a lot of the folks that help us, right? Even like what we're doing today by talking about it, right? We're now allowing our veterans and the people out there who know veterans to say, hey, you have to go take care of this. Because now more than ever is the best time to be a veteran, to file for your benefits.
Right. And so a lot of people don't know. I mean, maybe the money leaves the island, but most of the time it stays.
Yeah.
But not only that, if a veteran is using their health care that they're enrolled in, if they don't use the CBOC, guess what? They're using care in the community. That's at what? FHP.
Right. And care in the community, there almost quite a few of our, I mean, we have like over at the medical, what is it, where they do all the x-rays and all.
Guam
Radiology, yeah. And by the way, the owner of Guam Radiology, right, is a veteran, right? So it seems like, you know, helping our veterans, helping ourselves, right? And here's the thing, right? These folks are hiring people. They're getting money because veterans went and filed their claims and have benefits.
Sometimes parenting can be hard. What should I be doing? The Guam Early Learning Council includes partners who can provide you with early childhood services and supports. We are here to assist. For resources and information, simply call 311 Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., excluding holidays. Early connection can change everything.
That's been the push that we've been talking about for a long time. And many people can say anything they want about it, right? But you talked about $745,000, right, in 1 year. And that's just from the people that we were able to track or the people that came back, right? Because you don't charge for this service, right?
No.
And you don't get any money from the government,
No.
right? And the things that you've done for these folks within the year are things that, had there had been an HMI before, these people would have gotten these benefits.
Right.
Had there have been the education process, these people would have gotten this, right? So this is quite important, because I think the numbers of awards coming to us to the island, which that's something we talked about at our task force meeting. We need to start learning what the numbers are that come in for veterans, right? Because you know, some folks are keeping it quiet about how much grant funding they have. And that grant funding should be public information. And that information should entail what veterans can avail of, right? Because the last time I checked, when they give these monies to these organizations, it is their job to use those monies to take care of veterans.
Right.
And there could be some things that go on out there that we probably aren't aware of, right? And we really need to start doing that. But most recently, our symposium has brought out folks like Social Security, the Guam Legal Services. I know I'm going to miss some folks here. DISID, WestCare. And by the way, these things have been there forever. But we haven't, as veterans and through our leaderships, gone out there to explore these things. And it just takes going out there and talking to them, just setting up a venue for them to come and talk about their services. We almost couldn't get some of these folks off the stage during the symposium because the veterans were really asking a lot of questions about that.
Which was the who we had last podcast was
Yes.
Elder Justice Center.
That's right, with Miss Carol.
And that's a free service.
Yep.
And I know a lot of veterans are, fall into their range or who they help. So that was a really good resource that we shared and made it push it out there, because a lot of veterans don't know what services and resources are available for them.
And it's a new time, right? Our veterans need to continue to educate themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They, we're at boot camp. What now?
46.
So boot camp 40. So we've had 46 of these, and we usually have them once a month.
Mm-hmm.
And then actually we've had more. Those are the counted ones we have, right? That's the numbered ones, because we've done many boot camps at some of the
at some of the businesses.
Businesses,
right?
And the point of the matter is, right, these folks get educated, and new information continues to filter through, and we continue to share that so that this information gets out to our veterans, right, and their family members, because these are the types of things that veterans and their family members should be able to receive and have access to.
Right.
This is no hidden secret, right? And being able to present that and have people come and see it, right, is pretty amazing, and it's going to be helpful for the island, right? We complain about not having too many resources coming in here, having the VA care for our veterans, which is what they're designed to do. So when our CBOC says, I can't take care of these guys. Yes, you can. You need to go ask for more help, right? And they do a great job up there, right? But could we do more, right?
Yes.
And do we have stories of things that aren't happening out here? Are there veterans that are being mistreated? Are there veterans that may need more help? And the answer is always yes. And that's something that, we have to continue. And I don't think we're going to see any shortage of need for us to get out there and help. If you're a veteran, or if you want to help veterans, nobody stops you from doing that. You can get out there, help. If you got some way of contributing, do so.
So let's go back to the Guam Defense Forum. So we heard Admiral Paparo. He was the guest speaker.
Yes.
And then we heard from Admiral Midas, Admiral Lasky, and kudos to the Guam Defense Liaison Office, Vera Tapasnia. They put that together at the Dusit. It was pretty crowded. I think there was over 300 people, and we got to listen.
Was it more?
Maybe more.
Yeah, it could have been
because
more.
I was counting all the tables, because that's where we have our gala.
Yes.
Our Veterans Gala.
Yeah, I think it was more.
More? Okay.
Yeah.
Because it was, every single table was filled.
Yes, just about. Yes.
And it was amazing to be there, to listen to, not everyone knows, what the numbers are, what's coming, what Guam's going to look like in 10 years. Yeah. And so to hear it from them, that was something, you should have been in the room. And I think it was recorded. We go ask Vera if it was recorded.
It was recorded, and they said they'll make it available. So.
Okay. But, we got to listen to, I think, the lunchtime briefer, Honorable Daryl Marks.
Oh, yes.
He's the Assistant Secretary of Defense for Energy, Installations, and Environment. And I think our first break, everyone went straight to him after his speech. Everyone was looking for him. But when we spoke to Vera, she said this is just the first one.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, because the registration filled up really fast. It was open to everyone, and it was open up to organizations, government, community partners. And so we saw everyone there. We saw mayors there. We saw the senators there. And so this is just the start, she said, and the conversation continues. And I know we asked to be, part of the conversation, because like you've always said, once these service members come here, what if they, fall in love with the island? What if they get married and they decide to make Guam their forever home? They're veterans. And when they're veterans, where are all the resources for them? We need to be doing something now to plan for them, because if we're fighting right now in 2025 for more resources, what does that look like in 10 years?
Exactly, and there's going to be a whole lot more that's going to be happening, and you know, we started talking about this 5 years ago when we first started out as a nonprofit with HMI.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
And we just started talking about, hey, there's going to be this huge need to care for our existing veterans. Many veterans need some education about what's going on, and we really have to pay attention to that, right? And part of that says that there are going to be more services that we're going to need. There's going to be a need for more funding, and we see that already, right? We see that because many of these contractors that come to the island to do some work for the buildup are veterans, right? And they register in our system and they require services. There was a time when they discussed that the potential for having contractors receive care from the Naval Hospital. And even with that, we're still, you know, knocking on the door about the MOU that we are involved in with the VA and with the Department of Defense, or Department of War now. But we continue to seek these services out, and it's something that we do need, right? And yes, our veterans are going to need more services. There are going to be more veterans coming here. So I had an interesting conversation with General Hashimoto, right? He's retired now, but he works out of Hawaii, and he had an opportunity to speak to us. Might have been last year, earlier this year, and he was involved when we first started doing the industry forums. And one of the things he mentioned was part of the reason we're not focusing or talking about veterans is because our leadership at the time had not made that a priority. So that's part of the reason why we're a little bit behind. Now that we have the Defense Forum, right, we should continue to push for that. And because we're so far behind, we need to play catch up. Now, that also means that our veterans out there need to come out. They need to do some things, right? This is not just a handout where, oh, just because you're a veteran, I'm going to knock on your door and give you money. No, if you have some disabilities and you go to the VA and you file your claim, right, the VA will do an examination and they will determine whether you need to be compensated. They will also do things where if you are able to have these things, right, if you get a compensation, an award or a percentage, now you are in the system and they can start providing you medical care. And those are all things that our veterans really need to pay attention to and come out and do, because again, if you don't come and file it, it's not going to matter for you.
Right. So I think it wrapped up with did we make it for the second day? I'm trying to remember. It was only 2 days, right? I think it was 2 days.
Yes, 2 days. So I think on the second day we had Mayor Tony Chargolev talk a little bit about veterans. I don't think they expounded on it at that point. However, they did, you know, get an earful about the things we should be doing for our veterans out here and increasing that, you know, that whole thought process of, hey, we have veterans here, let's take care of them. And if we just use what HMI has done, no funding, no resources, we do this on our own. Yes. We get our veterans to donate into HMI to continue to do this. So in essence, veterans are taking care of themselves. We need to kind of help change that, right? There should be resources. And people have often heard me say, when GDA gave money to dogs and didn't give any money to veterans, right? I don't believe it was their intention to do that. But the outcome is clear. We gave money to dogs at gain. And by the way, one of the people on their board is a veteran who is a VSO. So I'm trying to understand, is his heart to take care of the gain dogs and not take care of the veterans? So if you happen to be a VSO, wouldn't it also be in your mind that, hey, we're taking care of dogs, that's a great thing. Couldn't we take care of veterans too? Where's your input and information, right? And again, GDA has the opportunity to do this again next year or when their next cycle comes out and really take care of finding a way to fund our veterans. And if they can't do it with whatever's in existence, right? And let's just say, right, the veterans put in a terrible grant request. They don't need this money. So it's fine, right? They missed it this time. We'll care for the dogs. They'll come back next time and probably give us more money. And any amount of money that they give us is going to be something that we do need, right? And we need more things out here. We don't need just license plates. I mean, we appreciate that. Anything they give us is great. And our veterans have been so humble and saying, oh, okay, thank you, we appreciate it. And we should.
We should do a podcast about that, about what the other, I know we're not a state, but what the other states
exactly
are
so
offering veterans. Like Texas is the most veteran-friendly state, right? Like what do they offer them?
Yeah, I mean, like, and one of the easy ones to kind of just talk about is the state veterans home.
Right.
The VA pays for 65 to 75% of that.
70%.
Do our veterans not, are they not entitled to that? And if we're not, then that's fine. All you got to do is tell these poor unfortunate veteran souls out here, sorry guys, you guys are not real veterans. You don't require a state veterans home. And stop telling me about numbers, no matter who you are out there. Chino, California, Chico, California, and I just found Eugene, Oregon. The number of veterans they have is less than Guam. Their facilities are 10 times the size of our CBOC. And even if you added that expansion, it's still 10 times larger. But we have more veterans. So yeah, so we really need to stop telling me that it's numbers. And if it is numbers that you want to use, then that's fine. Let's go out to Chino and Chico and you show me that you have more numbers than me. Because right now what's showing is that they don't have it. And I'm not going out there to look for this. Our veterans from Guam who go to these places get to see it, and they feel so demoralized by the fact that, hey, how come Guam can't get this?
Right.
Win one championship, you're celebrated. Win twice, they call you a hero. 3 times, they say words like legend and dynasty. 4, 5, 6 titles, they'll say enough is enough. But when you've won it all 7 times, what's left to say? The trophy speaks for itself. Introducing the full lineup of Ram trucks. Ram, 7-time winner of Motor Trend's Truck of the Year.
We do want to go over a few of the important things for the draft bill. So currently, the governor appoints the GOA director, right? Guam Office of Veteran Affairs Director, and they serve under her direction. And then that's the current law. And then the draft one, still appointed by the governor, but now requires advice of the Guam Veterans Commission before the appointment. So whoever the governor is considering for the director would go through the commission. And then the second one, these are just the main points. The second one is current law, powers of the GOVA director. Current law administers and enforces veteran-related laws, plans, cemetery, and adopts rules. So new draft bill, same powers, but must also receive and consider policy recommendations of the commission. The third thing is Veterans Commission membership. Current law, broad representation, governor approves members, and at least 9 organizations represented. The draft law, specific categories for different branches of service, and then you would must be a nonprofit in good standing, and you would have a primary and alternate representation required and meetings quarterly. The fourth thing is membership process. So currently it describes process for the new organization membership applications forwarded by the GOVA director. The draft law, it will be repealed. The process is now embedded in the law with the governor having approval based on the organization nomination. The next one would be meetings. So current law, they meet monthly, and draft would have it quarterly, or they can meet via teleconference. And then grievances and oversight. Today's law, no statutory mandate for grievance handling, but the draft bill, the commission is now designated as a channel for community grievances. The GOVA director must respond in writing within 4 weeks. So those are just some of the main pieces, and kudos to Tom Atta for, I know he did a lot of the heavy lifting here.
Yeah, so a few things, right? Well, we're going to be closing up, and
right.
Maybe at the next podcast